Hello everyone, welcome to Conjunctions in Astrology. We're looking at the Sun in conjunction to the Moon, a powerful new moon factor, a powerful beginning, but also a very powerful switch point wherever this is found in any divisional chart as well. So if you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below, and if the video is good for you, give it a thumbs up. Let's go. First point though, everyone, do you actually have a conjunction of the Sun and the Moon in your chart? Let's check this out, because you may think you do, but you may not have. A conjunction in the ancient Vedic system is about planets being in the same sign together, because a sign equals a house. So if two or more planets are in the same sign, no matter how far apart they are by degree, they are in conjunction. But if one planet is 29 degrees of one sign, let's say, and the other planet at 0 of the next sign, that's not a conjunction, even though they are only 1 degree apart in space, because they are in different signs, therefore different houses, with a completely different lord. Another point to consider is the nakshatra. If planets are in a different nakshatra but in the same sign, are they still forming conjunction? Most definitely they are, because the nakshatra just gives them an internal experience, but they're still in the same sign, they're still sharing the experience of that house, and they are still in a conjunction. So, Sun and the Moon in the same sidereal sign, no matter how many degrees apart, you have a conjunction. And this conjunction is a powerful trigger in many ways in your chart. So, let's see why it's so powerful, looking at the energies involved. Who then is the Sun? The Sun is known as Surya in the Vedic system, or Ravi, as he travels around the zodiac. He gives us life, he gives us our spiritual purpose, and he actually represents our soul, Atman. Sun is a dharmic and sattvic planet, but he will punish if we are not honest and true, because his principle is pure honesty, truth, and trustworthiness. If we have these qualities, he rewards us. If we do not, as I say, he can be a very punishing graha. Sun rewards us with two things, though: health, vitality, and resources in life. As he travels around the zodiac, Ravi gives us, by his Aditya form, resources, wealth, and sustenance. The Sun represents authority figures, father, definitely even the boss in our life, and he is generally friendly with the Moon. And who then is the Moon? The Moon is known as Chandra in the Vedic system, the most gentle of all of the grahas. He certainly has no enemies. He rules 4th house, mother, land, home, country, and society itself. The Moon is about the health of our body and indeed longevity. He rules DNA program by which we burn our karmas in this lifetime. He has everything to do with inclusivity, belonging, safety, and indeed happiness. The Moon is the sustainer of our body, as I say, of our health, vitality, and also he is the food which we eat. He has so much to do with our emotional nature and indeed our very personality. Don't forget, personality changes over the lifespan, waning, waxing like the Moon. We think we are the same person, but when we look back over many decades, we see how much we have changed. At the deepest, most fundamental level, the Moon in the Vedic system, we understand, is Manas. He is the mind. And just like the mind, he is hard to control. Don't forget, the mind, in the Bhagavad Gita, we learn, is more difficult to control than the wind. The Sun and the Moon have come together in your chart then. This is very profound. The Sun is the deepest masculine energy father. Moon is the mother. The father and the mother have come together. But here's the thing, this favors the Sun, not so much the Moon. So moon factors have become darkened, weakened in this conjunction, but it can be different depending where the Moon is in relation to the Sun, because this will impact the Tithi. So when the Moon has a lower degree in the sign than the Sun, this is a combustion, definitely, but it is also what is known as Amavasya Tithi, which is ruled by Rahu. And this is why the Sun-Moon conjunction in the Vedic system can be sometimes called Amavasya Yoga. But the Amavasya Tithi only happens when Moon is behind the Sun, lower degree than the Sun. So you have to check it out carefully, check software to make sure, because if you are born on that Amavasya Tithi, Rahu controls your mind. So you become obsessive, compulsive, you can have real emotional highs, lows, etc., and even misjudge other people sometimes. So you can come out of all of this though. Check the end of the video, there's a very potent remedy there. But when the moon has a higher degree than the sun, he's still under that new moon influence, that darkening factor. But moon is moving away, separating from the sun. So this is a new beginning spiritually, a very potent factor as you begin a whole new karmic phase in your spiritual evolution. And this Tithi is ruled by the sun, so it doubles up the creativity. So when the moon has a higher degree, it can be extremely creative factor. Let's focus on the general indications now for everybody with this sun-moon conjunction. Sun is the soul, sun is the self, moon is the mind, moon is society. Society and self have come so close together, but the sun is in control. So the spiritual self-development is very strong, but the connection to society has become darkened. You become more introverted, less extrovert generally when you have the sun-moon conjunction. You see, in this conjunction, the sun has become so strong. So sense of self, even ego self, but spiritual self is very strong. Moon is connection to society. That's become weakened. So people with this sun-moon conjunction are very independent, very assertive, very determined to go their own way. They do not listen to advice easily. And just like people born on the opposite aspect, sun opposed moon, can be extrovert, really love to be among people, society, integrate well, smoothly with other people. This aspect, sun conjunct the moon, do not smoothly interact with other people. They can be prickly, they can be a bit harsh, they can be a bit off with other people generally. People find it hard to understand them. But the sun conjunct the moon is a vortex of energy in your chart, don't forget. And it's an emotional bag of energy. Your emotions are so tied up with self that every reaction to anything becomes emotional. You become quickly reactive, over emotive to any situation in your life. Sun is a masculine energy, moon is a female energy, and they've come together. There's a real blending within you of the male-female factors. What does this mean? Well, in a male chart, you can become extremely dominant, masculine, or you can have a very, very soft side that comes out, a very emotive, even maternal aspect to yourself, caring softness. So it can go extremely either way. And females don't get in touch with their tender, nurturing qualities. They are certainly there, but the sun has taken over completely. Sense of self and purpose is so strong. Sometimes they can have difficult conception, pregnancy, childbirth, etc. Even no children can be seen. But you must see the whole of the chart to actually confirm that. Don't depend on this one conjunction. And females with this sun-moon conjunction get misjudged very often by people who don't know them very well. They can seem a little bit harsh, a little bit aloof, very, very strong, independent people. And people don't see the huge, overwhelming emotional sensitivity that is inside them. But both male and female with this sun-moon conjunction can become very sensual, very sexual actually. Why? Because it's a sun-moon conjunction. Sun is father, moon is mother. They are mating, they are coming together. So there is a very strong sexual desire, sensuality with the conjunction. When there is the slightest affliction, though, to this sun-moon conjunction, these sensual desires, sexual desires can get out of control. You can be at a loss to control them, completely going after whoever, whatever you desire in life. Sexuality can be troublesome, particularly in younger years. But you must see the whole chart. It isn't going to impact everybody that way, but it is a bit disturbing. But you see, sun and the moon together gives you focused, laser-like energy. That's the thing. When you desire things, and sun and the moon have extremely strong desires. When they desire something, I'm not talking about sexual, sensual desires now, but just anything that you want. job, house, career path, anything. When you desire it, you will go for it. Straight up, straight there. You'll be there going down the road before you've even got time to think, because you don't think out things. You just want them and you go for them. See, when you want something, when you want to do something and you've got this sun moon, you will brook no interference from anybody. You just become irritated. People try to stop you. You will be very impatient, on edge. And a huge amount of stress I've seen comes from sun moon conjunction people. They bring stress on themselves almost by this intensity of desire, by this laser-like focus on things. They've got to do this job right now their way. Don't dare phone them when they're in the middle of something. They just won't speak to you. Don't even think of knocking on their door when they're doing something important to themselves. They can become very prickly, as I say, very irritable with other people when they feel they can't get on with what they want to do. But this is really why sun moon conjunction people can be difficult to live with domestically. They need to be given a lot of space, that's for sure. Of course, all moon factors come under stress in this conjunction, especially property matters. Now, you could become a very rich person by many other factors in your chart, have abundant property. But if you have the sun moon conjunction, you just don't get satisfied. Doesn't matter how much property you've got, how big a house, whatever it is you want, it's never right. There's always some domestic problem. There's always some property issue coming up. What's causing the difficulty, of course, on a very basic level, is that the sun is a fire planet, moon is Jala water. It's a Gandanta conjunction. Mind is being frazzled, stressed out and burnt out by the heat of the sun. On the other hand, water is being boiled up. That's a power factor. So you can get creativity. You can get a lot accomplished in your life with this conjunction. But what you won't generally get when you have this sun-moon conjunction is peace of mind. And this is why meditation, quietude, contemplation every day for a small amount of time is really important to de-stress and clear the clutter in your mind. Relationships need careful consideration because sun moon doesn't relate smoothly, easily to other people. That's the thing. And in the intimate, romantic, spousal relationship, it becomes especially difficult if there is affliction. Okay, so without too much affliction, it'll be okay. You need sensitive spouse who will give you space, then things will be all right. But spouse who makes a lot of demands on you and you can just run out of the room, run out of the relationship because the moon sun can't take too much emotional demand. And this is male or female. You can even hide your own emotions sometimes. They are extremely strong, but you are careful about releasing them. Or you can suddenly become too clingy, too demanding. It can go to extreme. A very important factor is, of course, relationship with mother, early nurturing. Because the moon has been darkened, there can be generally seen difficulties. Mother can be lost to you early life, or there can be separation. There can be difficult emotional bonding, or mother can be having problems when you were born. When it comes to work situation, employment, definitely I've seen that sun-moon conjunction do far better employed than self-employed most of the time. Of course, you have to see D10 chart, you have to see many other factors. They are very independent people, that's for sure, but they do better when they have routine imposed on them rather than trying to impose it on themselves. In particular, sun represents the government. A well-placed aspected sun conjunct the moon, you can get great success in any government post. Any public service position can be very favorable indeed. Sun moon people can be very dedicated to their work, definitely. Sun represents superiors. Superiors notice you. When it is well placed, well aspected, you can get favor, you can get promotion, you can do very well indeed. Truth is, you see, sun-moon people can be a little bit hermit-like from time to time. So even working from home is not always the best. Many other things to see in the chart. But generally, having to go to work, mixing with people, having that workplace conviviality, they will find this lifts them up, helps them feel happier generally. But the bottom line, no matter what your work situation, is always this. You're born at a dark moon, new moon. Therefore, the sun, which is spirituality, which is the truth, which is the light, is very strong in your chart. And moon, your mind, is connected to it. So you have enormous intuition, just so strong. You understand things other people can't even contemplate. You see behind the veil. But what you are seeking for is a spiritual, philosophical system which you can follow, feel true understanding, and feel really integrated with. Don't stop searching for this. It is definitely what you came here for. Let's look at the actual sign quality now. This can alter the conjunction somewhat. Taking the fire signs first, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Now, the sun becomes super strong here. So ego, sense of self, spiritual development even becomes very strong when the sun and the moon conjunct in any of these fire signs. Of course, you must see aspects, placement, etc. But you can have a short temper sometime. Emotions go up and down quickly. And this can strongly impact relationships. Certainly, moon is at a disadvantage, is very much in a Gandanta factor, not only being in fire sign, but with the sun combusted, completely frazzled, really. And what you need to do is to bring out this moon, give it some peace of mind, give your mind some peace. Try the remedies at the end of the video. But positively, you have enormous creativity. You have enormous potential of innovation. In the earth signs, in Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, a lot of the emotiveness is calmed down a little bit because these earth signs absorb this fire, water, Gandanta. But the mind worries a lot about little things, takes a lot on board in these earth signs, and this can become negative. Once again, you have to keep yourself focused in life. Don't become distracted by over-emotional reactions taking over. Very good for traditional work, office work, accounting, government, business perhaps in partnership. Could be good, particularly Taurus. In the air signs, in Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, you're coming out of yourself a little bit less introverted, more extroverted, more sociable, definitely. But the thing is, you're still hiding emotions. There can be many misunderstandings with other people, siblings sometimes, relationships sometimes, friendships definitely. People are not understanding your motivations. Gemini, siblings, Libra, sometimes spouse, Aquarius, friendships, but it can be mixed. The thing is, you're a very changeable person, a little bit turning into something else all the time. People can't keep up with you, really know about you, but you have skill. Sun and the moon in these earth signs give you communication skill, writing skill, media skill, definitely. In all the water signs, that is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, your emotions are super strong. You're a very sensitive person, extremely touchy sometimes. Definitely need a lot of space to yourself. In Cancer and Scorpio particularly, of course, Cancer moon is strong and Scorpio moon debilitated, but in either one you can have difficult childhood situation, particularly Scorpio. There can be trauma, difficulty, separation happening, but in all of these water signs you are deeply affected by childhood difficulty, childhood situation. If there are benefic aspects, of course, you come out of it much more easily. But the emotional sensitivity, empathy and intuition you will get in all of these signs is tremendous, particularly for occult study, astrology, etc. Definitely good, but also for counseling, helping, medicine. You're a superbly intuitive person into other people's emotions as well, mainly because you have spent so much time understanding yourself. So sun and the moon here can be a tremendously healing factor in all of these water signs. You need to come out of your shell, get into the world and do the good things you are capable of. Let's start with the Kendra houses, 1, 4, 7, 10. The moon and the sun here forces you to have new beginnings frequently in your life in any of these houses. Enormous charisma, presence, and vibrant personality can be there, Sun and Moon first house. But again, you can be misunderstood. You can be focused on self, not on relationships sometimes, depending on sign, depending on the aspect, and relationship difficulties can be there. Intense karmas with your mother, place of birth, and generally dealing with family domestic issues when you have the Sun and the Moon fourth house. It's never easy because Sun is not happy here. Relationships to both parents can be difficult or go through complete transformation. Early childhood becomes seminal, somewhat stressed if there are malefics afflicting. You're trying to find self-identity, and your connection to your place of birth is a big factor for you. In the seventh house, relationships become challenging for you emotionally. Connecting emotionally, consistency with somebody else. You can hide emotions, have a lot of difficulty, or you can make a lot of demands on your spouse. This can be another problem. Now, Sun has gone into Digbala when he's in 10th house, which is good, but the Moon is never happy here. So you want to do something big in the world. You want to make a mark. You've got a vortex of energy here, but it can take you a long time to actually find true career path. Sun and the Moon in the 10th house, good for government jobs, social service work, definitely. But it will take you a few rounds of transits or Mahadasha to actually settle into the right place for yourself, where you feel truly comfortable. That's the thing. So then the Moon in the second house can be quite extreme. Well aspected, placed by sign, you get financial security. Very, very good at preserving financial security, success, savings, etc. A very good financial manager. And you get support from your family, even though there may be difficult childhood circumstances. But ill placed by sign, difficult affliction, early childhood, lack of security, and you are fighting throughout life to keep finances stable. But generally, though, you have the ability to do so. Over time, it will improve. But it's a vortex, the Sun and the Moon, like I say, so watch your speech. Sometimes it can be overpowering, causing distress in your relationships, especially with your family sometimes. And definitely watch your diet. Sun and the Moon here can give addictions, food problems occasionally. Good aspects though, and your voice can be charismatic, attractive, and your singing voice may equally be good. Now in the 3rd, 6th, 11th houses, Sun is not really doing so well here. Maybe 11th house better, but generally not so. Neither is the Moon. So you become a little bit agitated here. You become a little bit lacking direction, going here, there, everywhere in life. Many changes can be seen. On the other hand, you have powerful ideas, communication, 3rd house, powerful healing skills, 6th house, and ability to rise up through the workplace, getting to good promotion position. But it will take time. Sun and the Moon always demands time to find direction. This applies to the 11th house. In both the 5th house and the 9th house, you've come here to learn, to gain some deeper spiritual wisdom and some academic knowledge as well. Education is essential to you, but because of this Gandanta conjunction, you may bow out of a course, just leave a course, become impatient, confused, unsure. Try to stick with your education as much as you can when you have the Sun and the Moon, 5th or the 9th house. In the 5th house, there can be difficulty with affliction with a child or with having children, sometimes female child. And 9th house should be seen as well, female child, because that is pregnancy. But generally, karmically, children are important to you. There is a deep soul connection happening here. And the 9th house connection to the father is profound, but may be extremely difficult sometimes. And in both the 5th and the 9th house, you are seeking for philosophical, religious truth, metaphysical truth. Definitely Jyotish helps you. Sun is light of that, both 5th and the 9th house. But gurus come and go, teachings come and go. If there is affliction in either the 5th or the 9th house, with time though, you will find what you are seeking for. There are challenges in the 8th and the the 12th house, the Dustana houses, because the moon is Marakastana 8th, sun 12th. But in a way, you can overcome this with strength of your mind in both. In the 8th house, Cancer sign helps because moon becomes strong. Taurus sign helps as well, bringing you out of this affliction. But in all cases, sun and the moon, 8th house, early childhood difficulty, separation, lack of emotional bonding, distance can be there. But you see, the 8th house is a house of regeneration, rejuvenation. No matter how many crises you'll continually go through your life, sun and the moon, 8th house, completely changing, switching situations where you have to completely become somebody else. You become stronger every time, more and more determined. And this gives you tremendous resilience. With affliction, business partnership can be difficult. Business itself goes up and down. As I say, employment can help. But either way, you're going to become an independent, resourceful person with the sun and the moon in the 8th house. Definitely you're a very good student, occult science student as well. You study well, research well, get many inspirations in these areas. Same thing, 12th house, you like time alone, you like to be alone, contemplating, studying, researching. But there's a wandering instability to the sun and the moon, 12th house, in your mind and physically in your life. Sometimes early childhood difficulties involving mother and the father sometimes can be seen. Loss of connection to one of the parents, definitely. What it is, though, is that you need to connect spiritually. This is a very spiritual position. You are here to gain a deep spiritual wisdom, understanding that will definitely sustain you. Sometimes foreign residence can be there. Sometimes early on in life this can occur even. If there is connection with the 4th lord to this sun and the moon, definitely. You can have artistic talent though, great imagination with this sun and the moon, 12th house. Writers, artists, bloggers, anybody dealing with the internet in any way, foreign lands can get success here. You're a little bit a secretive person, but you have tremendous power, tremendous resilience here. Don't hide emotions from other people too much. Try to be consistent and people will understand you better. Let's apply remedies, everybody, because if the sun is conjunct to the moon is weakened, darkened, and needs to be lifted up, made stronger, so that you will feel focused, happier, and much more peaceful. You notice on my channel, I do seldomly, if ever, recommend gemstones, because gemstones are not the real remedy. Everything in our chart is karma. Karma means action we have performed. Only by performing remedial action, some form of sacrifice, can we mitigate these karmas. That's how it works. So let's look at 4 things you can definitely do, and preferably do them all on a Monday, because this is the day of Chandra, the moon. The best thing is to always have some sacrifice of your food, particularly for the moon. Fasting Monday is a great remedy here. You can make a vow to do a particular number, like 12 Mondays in a row, etc. You can decide, but making the effort is the important thing. It goes without saying, no meat whatsoever must be eaten. In fact, one of the best remedies for afflicted moon is to simply become permanently vegetarian. This will definitely help. Now you can vary the fast according to your capacity. Obviously, strongest fast would be water only, or you could have fruit juice only, fruits only, or simply giving up milk products on a Monday completely. That means no milk, yogurt, butter, cheese, etc. Obviously, no meat should be eaten. And as much as you can, no tea, coffee should be taken during the fast either, of course. And this is very important. This Monday fast goes from the dawn of the Monday to dawn Tuesday, when you can break the fast. Wearing white garments also on a Monday is definitely bringing the moon energy strongly into your life. You don't have to be dressed head to toe in white clothes, but at least one white garment, say shirt, etc., blouse, would be good. Giving in charity of food, because moon is about nourishment, vegetarian food only to those who are poor, needy, is a very, very helpful remedy. This can be done permanently, but especially on a Monday. And of course, chanting the mantra of the moon on a Monday to evoke the blessings of Chandra. The mantra for Chandra is Om Chandraya Nama. Beautiful mantra chanted 108 times morning and evening, and you'll certainly get the blessings and relieve some of these troublesome karmas. Check all the rest of the conjunctions in astrology on your screen right now. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below. Goodbye for now, and God bless everyone.